Coming up, Eddie Howe was asked about Aaron Ramsdale and whether Newcastle United have got over their cup heartbreak. So Eddie Howe has just met the press down here at Newcastle United's training ground ahead of the big game against Luton Town, last game before Christmas, and it is very much the walking wounded for Newcastle United. Eddie Howe in his press conference talking about Anthony Gordon and Emil Kraft, how they'll need late assessment after taking 2 whacks down at Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. And he also spoke about Alexander Isak being 50-50 for this game. So it really is a case of assessing the group and Newcastle United going down there and, just seeing who's available, really. They've had so much bad luck. They've had so many setbacks with injuries. It has been difficult for Eddie Howe. But look, Newcastle will go down there looking to bounce back from Chelsea. The performance overall, in my opinion, wasn't too bad. I think defensively Newcastle showed they have got another side to the game. It was just those late jitters which led to the penalty shootout, which sadly led to the exit, that has cast a cloud of negativity over the training ground here. And Eddie Howe spoke about that, saying that Newcastle must overcome that negativity, not internally. The negativity he believes is coming from somewhere else. I don't think he was referring to the fan base. I would probably say he's referring to the wider media. But look, Newcastle have an opportunity now before 2024 kicks in to pick up 6 points. Luton Town away and Nottingham Forest at home. There are more daunting fixtures than those two. Newcastle have shown before they're more than capable of winning games like that. So this is an opportunity for Newcastle to sign off for the year in style, regardless of injuries. They have got it in them to do so, and if they do, then they'll pretty much be well in touch with the top 4 again. And let's be honest, if Newcastle qualify for the Champions League again this season, it's been an unbelievable achievement given the setbacks that this squad has suffered so far. We did ask Eddie a little bit about transfers. He wasn't giving much away. I threw the Aaron Ramsdale question at him, but he said he wouldn't speak about specific positions, but certainly it's one that has to be asked because Nick Pope's still out until April. Do Newcastle United need another goalkeeper? I think that is a big question on the lips of a lot of fans. But Martin Dubravka slowly getting back into it. The issue is, if Dubravka was getting an injury, then Newcastle may have serious issues with backup. So lots of transfer questions to come. I'm sure this was probably going a little bit early, but really Newcastle squad in need of a few tweaks in the January window. But for the moment, concentrating on Luton and picking up 3 big points at Kenilworth Road. Yeah, so just looking at that game in isolation, almost the Luton game for me, it's almost got spats of a cup tie atmosphere going into it, and I'm pretty sure that has been the case for all of Luton's home games this season. They must take advantage of the environment that they play in. I've been down there a lot of years ago. It's tight. The fans are on top of you. It's intimidating. It's a ground that has never changed down the years. I think fans of a certain generation will remember Luton as a really tough place to go, and I think this is going to be the same for Newcastle. But look, I think they've got the capabilities to win the game. I've got no doubt about that. But I just think Luton see every game as an opportunity to almost pull off a giant killing act against the Premier League team. Let's be honest, a couple of years ago, no one would have expected Luton to be in the Premier League back again. It's a real throwback to see Luton in the top flight. In the 80s and 90s, they were there. They were a team to be feared. They were a team that won cups. So it's a real opportunity for Newcastle to really just get back on track, in my opinion, after the Chelsea game. So many subplots to that game. Trippier missing the penalty, Trippier's mistake, the injuries, the anger about the challenge on Gordon, which Howe alluded to in his press conference this morning, and the penalty shootout drama, which is never nice to see, and Newcastle's mixed record from the spot in cup ties was there again for all to see. But they must put that behind them now. This is a different competition. This is all about getting 3 points going into Christmas. It's all about just staying in touch with that top 4. It could be Newcastle's destiny almost to push for the Champions League again this season. Trophy-wise, you do still have the FA Cup, but I always feel it starts to to become a little bit desperate when you're putting all your eggs in one basket with the FA Cup. They've got to get past Sunderland first. That's another matter altogether. Between now and then, there's 3 Premier League games, and Newcastle must look to pick up at least 6 points from these batch of fixtures over the festive period, because it's going to be tough going into New Year. They can't do anything about transfers for another few days, but they can certainly start getting things in place. But for me, all focus on Luton, all focus on trying to get 3 points. Real different experience for the fans who've been to some unbelievable stadiums already this season, going to PSG, Milan and Dortmund. Luton is the other side of the spectrum almost. It's basically, a ground where, as I say, the fans are on top of you. The press box is tight. I've been in it before. It's unbelievable. And Newcastle fans and media will, be experiencing something akin to going to an FA Cup tie in the early rounds or a League Cup tie in the early rounds. So it's going to be tough, but one that I'm sure the fans will look forward to, and hopefully heading back up the road with 3 points.